Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of TacoBytes, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 420, live at SBF day 7 of SBF Sam Bankman-Fried's trial, with the defense taking on Caroline Ellison this morning with the start and how they're wrapping up before the lunch break. What they've been covering, everything from what Miss Ellison was doing and her views of both the competency of Sam Trebek, Gary Wang, and what they have been doing. So one of the things that we did get to see this morning was, as she was talking about the almost 200 different sub accounts that FTX, that Alameda managed under their info at account, and I don't know if it was just a hard way of trying to understand the difference points of their FTX fiat account and the separations of bank accounts. So there's been a separate morning on that piece there. And so one of the things that we have seen a lot, over the last couple of days this week, is a lot of sidebars, and it is almost to the point to where the judge is a little fed up with that, over the minute amount of discrepancies and the objections to form on questions. One of the things that we did see, a lot of different direction come through was, as Caroline was the co-CEO with Sam, once he stepped away and resigned fully, but he's, whether or not someone should come in, but she felt that she was competent enough to do that. Ben Shia, XIE, who was head of trading, was first nominated for that position, but Caroline felt and stepped up and said that she could control that by herself, and so she was up ahead on top of trading policy. One of the things that we saw the defense start to touch on was HR and security, and talk about hacks for just a microsecond, then moving subjects. So we think that there might be some more things that they open up and talk about there. One of the things that we did see, with they touched on their master loan agreement with Voyager and whether or not Caroline, was in charge of those documents, and as she was the signatory on them. So the question will be whether or not that has anything to do with anything that they try to tie or lay at Caroline's feet, that she was her own initiator of actions, or whether or not they're going to, as she's sort of been blaming everything on Sam, and that she was at his mercy, if they're going to lay out that she's a competent individual, and she took charge and made choices on her own self. They did point out, though, that, they did break up officially, Sam and Caroline, around April of 2022, and how their work life after that changed. We did see, we thought the defense was going to be resting rather quickly, because they then went into their 5K motion, which normally is held by both prosecutors and defense attorneys. They start to talk about, the cooperation agreements, and they, at the end, because they want to sort of like bring suspicion to, or doubt to, everything that they have heard in testimony, like, you were promised something, and so that's why you're here saying what you're saying. But defense actually brought that up as almost their third topic of the day before breaking for lunch, breaking for first break, and then now heading out to lunch. We started to talk about Chinese walls, aka barriers of information, and communication between two entities for conflict of interest, before moving on. So we saw the defense is sort of moving on topics really quickly, which is a very interesting piece. Obviously, they are not, this is not their first rodeo, and so they have their own point to this. Even going as far as talking about, how Caroline could control the legacy customers through their pointer system, and whether or not she, was okay with those things continuing. So we'll see how that turns out. But then at the same time, as we took into our lunch break, we did see a bit of they started to talk about finding a bug in their liquidity market making systems. And so from their liquidity market making systems, we did see the prosecutors touched on this last thing before the defense took over yesterday, where they were talking about BMTX, as well as on touching very briefly on MobileCoin. Personally, after Ellison mentioned both BMTX and then mentioned just used the terminology of general coins, it seemed the prosecution specifically made her pull out MobileCoin. And so MobileCoin was talked about earlier in the week, which was referred to as a MobileCoin hack. And for those that don't know, there was no MobileCoin hack. It was just someone learning how to leverage and play the system. And so they were able, due to low liquidity, they were able to buy up the tokens, causing the price to spike, then borrow against that, which made the regular token of it crash, because normal price was around $5, but they were able to push it up to almost $60 on FTX's site because there was not those safety measures in place. So one of the questions that might be brought up is, were these safety measures not in place due to the special privileges that Alameda was given? With being able to not be liquidated if a price of a token went down? Were these safety measures that normally any other exchange has, were they skipped over and just not being able to be part of the system due to the special privileges that Alameda had? We'll see how that comes up. Defense thinks that they will be either done today or early tomorrow. Prosecution did ask for a 20-minute notice before any end of services, so they could make sure they have their next witness ready to go. So this will be an interesting day. Mood in the courtroom, I will be honest, it is a great group of reporters from all walks of publications, doing a great job. So hands off to all of them. And we're seeing people here, we're here at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure we're able to get in. And so the effort is being put in to make sure that an unbiased opinion is put in. You want my biased opinion, you'll see me at Degen's After Dark. But at the same time, just wanted to shout out to everyone that's paying attention to this, because this really does actually matter. Unfortunately, this has set crypto back. But the biggest thing that hopefully that the defense will talk on today more is the bribes of 100 million to 150 million that was paid for the thing to Chinese government officials due to the $1 billion that was locked up between OKX and Huobi. So yesterday, Caroline did throw Huobi and OKX under the bus as being influenced by Chinese governments and Chinese officials. So we will see if that's delved into more later on. We hope that you have a great, wonderful day. And as we end every episode, we end every episode with the same two things. Even though we are coming to you live from outside the courthouse, we are heading back in just a moment. But our two favorite things, as always, is a closed mouth does not get fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity cannot come and knocking. And if it does, opportunity will keep on walking. And with that, we give Liam all our love, and we will see you on the flip side as we come out live later on tonight. But knock, knock. Who's there?